So first one is pretty straightforward. It is a safe boot command, and all you have to do is hold down the shift key while starting up the computer. Now I'm going to show you the key command here and then go over what it does while it is safe booting, and also what kind of scenarios you want to use a safe boot in. I pre-recorded these here, but essentially if your computer is on, what you want to do is shut it off first, and then power it back on and hold down the shift key, as I'm going to demonstrate here. You want to perform a safe startup in scenarios where the computer isn't starting up, or you're getting like a progress bar and it's not going all the way to the end. You want to do it in times when something isn't performing the way it's supposed to. Your internet isn't working. Your for instance, app that you're launching is crashing consistently for some reason. Just some sort of unexpected behaviors that may be linked to startup items. And what Safe Startup does, as you're seeing here right now, is essentially starts up the Mac without any third-party extensions, without graphics drivers, and just boots it up in the most minimal state that the operating system can kind of function on. But it is holding down the left shift key, and you'll also notice that the startup process is a little bit slower. And then once it starts up, you'll actually see safe boot on the top right near the battery percentage. And then when you go to log into your account, you'll see that the graphics are all jittery. It's because it's not loading full graphics drivers. It's literally working at a minimal kind of operating system. At this point, you can go ahead and test your problem and see if it still occurs while in safe mode. If it doesn't, then you know that there's something that you have installed that's launching during startup that may be causing this. So it's used for troubleshooting purposes. The way to get out of safe mode is to essentially just restart the computer like normal without holding down any keys or any buttons, and that'll bring the computer back into regular startup. If your computer has a really low available storage on the hard drive, it may actually not have enough space to boot all the necessary files and kind of pre-startup items, in which case Safe Startup won't load them and actually give you the opportunity to load in and kind of delete stuff. That's just one of the many examples of where you'd want to use a Safe Startup. The next keyboard shortcut is resetting NVRAM, or non-volatile RAM. If the computer's on, you want to shut it down. If you're ever having video issues, if you're having sound issues, if you're having some playback problems within video apps, or you can't project to your projector, or after using a projector with your mini display port or your HDMI port, you're getting kind of weird graphical anomalies on your display. Essentially things related to video memory. It also resets the startup disk selection. It also resets the time zone. It'll also clear kernel panic information. Once you know that your computer is completely shut down, what you'll do is you can click the caps lock key just to make sure the computer's off. If it's not lighting on, you know it's off. What you'll do is power the computer on with the power button, and then immediately hold down Option, Command, P and R. You want to use two hands because it's a slightly tricky combination, and you'll continue holding down you'll continue holding down the key combination until you hear two startup chimes. So you hear the first one, continue holding. Once you hear the second one, you can release. At that point, the NVRAM has been reset. Third on the list is an SMC reset. So that's a System Management Controller reset. It is performed by holding down the Shift, Control, Option, and Power button simultaneously for about half a second, and then you release. And you can do this at any time, whether when the computer is on or when the computer is off. You'll notice the screen immediately cut off. Okay. Another thing you'll notice is if you're connected to power on a portable machine, you'll see that the LED indicator goes from orange to green and then back to orange if the battery can still charge. Okay. If you're on an iMac, you obviously don't have a charger to plug your iMac into. The way an SMC reset is performed on an iMac is by unplugging the power cord from the back and waiting about, let's say, 10-15 seconds for the power supply to drain power, and you can plug it back in and power on as normal. The same thing goes for like a Mac Pro. What can the SMC reset fix? One of the biggest things that you'll kind of see is if your fans are spinning really loud. Sometimes if your trackpad isn't responsive or not working the way it's supposed to, a USB port isn't working. So you're probably getting the drift at this point. An SMC reset is done when something isn't performing the way it's supposed to related to power. Your Wi-Fi card isn't present. Audio interfaces aren't present, so you can't control the volume. Your FaceTime camera isn't turning on. Things like that you can try to resolve with an SMC reset. Just be aware that these shortcuts aren't like a instant fix button. So it's like, if I push this, it's gonna fix my problem. It's something that to aid you into getting to the bottom of your problem and figuring out where it's coming from. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you next time.